Welcome to Stormworks, Engineering Meets Combat. In this series, we're diving into the world of shipbuilding, where engineering brilliance meets tactical warfare. Watch as we design, build, and command our cutting-edge fast attack vessel, crafted for speed, power, and precision. From intricate hull designs to advanced weapon systems, get ready to conquer the seas and skies.
Welcome back to part 4.2 of the hybrid engine build. Today, we're diving into the heart of this project, creating the controller that will manage both the electric and jet engines. It's a complex task, but like any good challenge, it's the kind that pushes us to learn and adapt. Now, I won't lie, today's episode is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. We'll test, fail, tweak, and test again. There will be moments where nothing seems to work, and that's perfectly okay. This is the part where most people throw in the towel, but not us. Because failure is not the end, it's the start of figuring things out. And here's the thing, success doesn't come in a straight line. It comes from patience, from tweaking every detail until you get it just right. So, as we test the engine controller and see failure after failure, know this: we're learning, we're refining, and eventually, we're going to get it. As with any microcontroller, the key is in the details, adding logic nodes, property nodes, and tying everything together seamlessly. Initially, I considered doing all of this in Lua, but here's the thing. As a real developer, Lua just doesn't capture my interest. I wanted this to be as accessible as possible, not just for myself but for anyone following along. After all, the goal is to make complex systems approachable. As you can see, I'm skipping quite a bit here, and there's a reason for that. I've redone this so many times. So what you see on the screen isn't really what it became in the end. Let me explain what we're trying to achieve. The throttle will control everything, it's the main driver, and from there, we'll let the microcontroller do the rest. It'll handle the RPS, the charging, and, well, everything. This way, we're creating a system that's both powerful and intuitive, with the microcontroller doing all the heavy lifting in the background. At set intervals, though configurable, this is how we want it to function. In the first 25% of throttle, we'll efficiently run on batteries only. From 25% to 75%, we'll switch to hybrid mode, with both jets and electric motors working together, optimizing for fuel efficiency. And finally, from 75% and up, it's all about pure jet power, where speed becomes the main priority. But we also need to account for a few key scenarios. For instance, what happens when the battery is low? We'll need a system that triggers charging and enables generator mode automatically. Then, there's the issue of motor RPS falling behind the jet when the battery drains. This can cause the motors to act as a brake, which increases fuel consumption. We'll have to handle these edge cases carefully to ensure smooth transitions and avoid unintended drag from the motors, especially in situations where fuel efficiency is a priority. The microcontroller will be available on the workshop in time, but I want to make sure it's functioning properly before that. In the meantime, let's keep moving forward with the build. First, we need to make some space. Jets, while relatively small in diameter, can get quite long very quickly. So, I'm extending the engine bay a bit. I want this room to be large enough to allow quick movement in case we need to run around putting out fires or handling any emergencies. With this change, I had to move the batteries and tank around, which meant I also needed to recheck how we sit in the water. As described in previous episodes, using pivots can help facilitate the correct height in the water. However, the center of mass tool is a key element for ensuring we sit straight and balanced. As with any jet build, we start at the beginning, the compressor, followed by the combustion chamber, and then the turbines, many turbines. Finally, we wrap it all up with a small jet intake at the front. I've built it on a small pedestal, not just for functionality, but also to add a bit of flair later on. For now, we're just going to add a small jet tank and set it to infinite fuel in the settings. Our primary goal is to ensure everything is running smoothly for the time being. We're moving both the motors and jets to better align with the transmission part, and also piping it all together. Now, we need to add a small part between the jet's power output and the driveshaft connected to the large flywheels, a clutch. Without this clutch, the jets won't be able to start if the motors haven't already spun up the flywheels. We're keeping it simple for now by using a straightforward math formula in a function block, x divided by 12, where x represents the RPS from the jets. The output is set to the clutch, meaning it will fully engage at 12 RPS. This way, the jets can spin adequately before the clutch grabs. Once again, we're using the microcontroller from Zizo, the JCU. The main advantage here is that it's RPS controlled. Instead of throttling it simply with a 0 to 1 range, we can specify exactly what RPS it should run at, just like we do with our motors. We're also connecting both the motors and jets to their respective logic nodes on our engine management system. Let's spawn our ship and give it a go. Nothing, zip, zilch. That's the reality sometimes. Even with all the connections in place, we're not seeing any response. It's time to troubleshoot and figure out what's going wrong. The culprit, a missing on/off button. Let's try that again. Nope, no power to the motors still. Double-checking our connections, double-checking our microcontroller, retesting, and retesting. And finally, our hard work pays off. We're moving forward, at least for now. There's still work to be done, but it's a victory nonetheless. What you haven't seen are the 2 hours I spent debugging, all clipped out of the video for your convenience and my frustrations. You're welcome. Everything seems to be in order so far. Both motors and jets are doing what they should. Over the next few hours, I made several changes to the different PIDs, and while it's still not completely finished, we are moving forward. There are small things left to tackle, like ensuring the engines run just a few % higher RPS than the jets in hybrid mode and making sure the generator mode works. But we're progressing, and that's what counts. Stormworks, at the surface, is a relatively easy game, but with time, you can create very complex systems. If you're new to it, you'll soon notice that it takes quite a bit of time to get everything right, but it pays off. We sure are sitting pretty, and at full throttle, she packs a punch. We're hitting speeds of around 70 to 80 knots, well above our target of around 55 to 60. While that's impressive, at this speed, we would burn through our fuel rather quickly, so there's definitely room for optimization. Also, we don't want to end up being a seaplane, so we need to address some anti-flight measures. Lowering the speed will definitely help with that as well. What the hell is that? Yeah, we definitely need to do some more work. Over the next couple of hours, I did a ton of tweaking to the controllers and other components, and we're still a ways from finished. But we're making progress. So, let's recap what we accomplished. We integrated the electric motors and jet engines, set up the RPS-controlled microcontroller, and added a clutch mechanism. We rearranged components for better alignment and made several PID adjustments. We also achieved speeds of 70 to 80 knots, but we still need to address stability issues. With that said, I'll post an updated version of the ship along with the controller later when it feels a bit more polished. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment, as this was quite tricky. Don't forget to subscribe for more content and let me know what you think. See you soon, where we'll finish up the engines, add some stability, and refine the bridge a bit more.